This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling, doing Boundary to Boundary Colorado High School Wrestling. Today's guest is Gary Ramstetter from Alamosa. How's it going, Gary?
Pardon me again.
How's it going, Gary?
Good.
Catching up with you today at Wyoming University at the Cowboy Open. Let the wrestling community in Colorado hear about your background in wrestling and your coaching background.
Okay, in wrestling, I wrestled at Arvada West and Trinidad Junior College and mostly at San Jose State. And I wrestled 3 years at San Jose State. I qualified for the Division I tournament once, and I won that regional. It was called, I can't think what it was called at the time. It was all big Division I schools on the West Slope that weren't in the Pac-10.
Okay, what's your coaching background?
Just wrestling in junior high, high school, and I assist with wrestling because my son's a wrestling coach, but that's a minor thing.
Yeah. How long have you been coaching at Alamosa?
40 years.
One of the oldest coaches in the state?
Probably the oldest.
The oldest coach? I know the coach at Rocky Mountain who retired a couple years ago. Taylor, he was another old bird that was coaching for a long time. So tell us about your season last year, because you became the state champ in 3A. That was your 12th state championship. So give us a little breakdown of your season from last year.
Well, it was really a good season. I didn't have any problems with kids or anything like that, and I'm not sure I had any. I had some really, really good wrestlers. I'm not sure if I had any Division I superstars, that kind of guy. I don't think we had that kind of individual last year. We have some guys wrestling in college right now from that group. One at Drury and Missouri, and a couple at Adams State.
Okay. So that was your 12th championship, and you've had a number of runner-up positions. What does your team look like for this upcoming season?
I think we have a fairly good team. You know, I'm always kind of surprised at the end. I just, maybe I'm not a good evaluator of talent, but I think we have a pretty talented team this year. Most of them are remnants from last year. We have a lot of returning guys from last year, and some really good middle school guys coming up.
I noticed that you had a few guys that placed at the state tournament, were in the finals, and didn't quite break that gap to take first. What are your expectations for this year's team?
I think we'll be pretty competitive in the state. I really do. We have some really good guys from last year, and a couple of them were just one or two matches out of placing pretty high at the state tournament, and they're back. And we have some really, really good middle school kids coming up. They're small, but they're actually very good, and so I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. Do you have any transfers?
No.
No transfers this year? Okay. So what does your lineup look like? I know it's preseason. You probably have had some preseason workouts. And I know the high school season doesn't start until November 18th with the official practice. So what are your workouts or your preseason workouts look like?
This time of year I go pretty light, and maybe a couple times a week. And because we have guys still, we have 5 or 6 guys playing football, and that's over now. But then I encourage them to take at least a week off, so I don't want them running in the room being beat and feel sorry for themselves, which they wouldn't do. But I want them to have some time off, and this is just high school sports. This is not life and death. So anyway, and then we'll get going. I think I have a lot of good guys back from last year, and I didn't lose anybody, you know, from grades or anything. I didn't lose anyone, which was always a plus.
Okay. What's your coaching staff look like for this year?
I have the same ones I had. Rusty Johnson is my main one. Jacob Biguero in Jacobs wrestled 5 years in college too. He's the second one, and then I have some volunteers that sell. One of them's an insurance salesman. That's pretty much it. And the insurance salesman was a really good heavyweight, and I usually am. He works out with the heavyweights, and the rest of them are just our guys, and they know what I do, and I never have to teach them anything. They're good to go right out of the bed or right out of the gate.
With getting up in age, unfortunately, not being able to move as much on the mat, are you bringing in younger coaching staff?
That's exactly right, and I do not get down on the mat anymore. And, when I first noticed this, it was old man Martin, father of Granby Wrestling. I was at a clinic of his, and I saw how he was doing it, and I emulated it. I saw how he coaches. He never gets on the mat, and he's very effective, and I pretty much copied him. Okay. I learned a lot of wrestling there, and I learned a lot of coaching wrestling that day. Yeah. Because I was still pretty young then, but I thought I'd be coaching when I was older and couldn't get down on the mat. No, I still get down, but my knees aren't. They don't have the flexibility they used to. I almost always get down for something, but pretty soon I'll be in the hospital.
Yeah. What is your practice schedule for a week look like in your weight training during the season?
We have a real aggressive weightlifting coach, and we have some real aggressive, not only wrestlers, athletes, female, male, in our high school, and they lift before we wrestle right now, and they're in there. They're in there a lot, actually. In this summer, I would go in there, and there was always 6 or 7 or 8 wrestlers in there lifting every day. And the weightlifting coach, he's a gem. It's always open. He knows what he's doing, and you can't beat that.
Yeah. What do your numbers look like in the room? Do you think you're going to have a large number, or?
I think it'll be about 30, which is what we usually have. I'm going to be shy heavies, though. I don't think we have too many heavy kids. We did last year, but some of them were also in this tournament. But I don't think we're going to have a lot of big kids. That's always a problem with little schools.
Yeah. Okay. What makes you keep coming back after 40 years and keep working with the kids?
This is simple. I love the sport, and I always have. When I was in the 9th grade, a friend of mine says, "I want you to go out for wrestling." I'm not going out for wrestling. And he grabbed me, and he drugged me in the room. And the next night, I was the first guy in there. We lost him in Vietnam, but he was one of my best friends. Yeah. And that's how I got started.
And that's how you got started? Well, that's good. I mean, it's good to have guys that are staying with the programs and keeping the schools wrestling programs going. I've noticed the last 4 years that every season it seems like there's about 35 to 38 new high school coaches, head coaches per year. So in the last 4 years, I mean, that's a turnover of 140 coaches out of 234 teams. So it seems like a lot of coaches are retiring or just getting out of wrestling.
It's a sad thing. I noticed that myself. It's difficult to be real successful when you don't have the continuity, and I'm talking extreme continuity. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It doesn't matter. All right, because as an example, all right, I started coaching in 1980. I didn't have my state championship, my first state champion until 1988, and my first state champion in 1988. So that took me 7 years. I was a Division I wrestler in college. I knew the game, but I didn't know coaching. And I saw just the other day, a friend of mine was coaching football, and they let him go. He was out of college, and bright guy, played college football. They let him go in 3 years because he had 3 losing seasons. I'm not sure you can do that in 3 years. I saw an interview on TV once. Barstar told another head coach he beat him That guy was kind of a newcomer. He says, Bar Stark, I heard it on TV. It takes 7 years to be a head coach in the NFL. That's the NFL. That guy knows what he's doing from day one.
Yeah, the turnover in the NFL is like 2-3 years they're switching head coaches.
I heard that myself on TV long time ago.
Yeah. So, well, it's glad to have you in the sport. Speaking of titles, how many titles does Alamosa have?
In wrestling?
Yes.
12.
Okay.
In 7 seconds. I count the seconds. And that's all we have in our trophy case. Just firsts and seconds. And pictures of state champions. That's all we have in our trophy case.
Okay. Well, I wish you good luck in the season. You have a great day here up in Wyoming. This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling.
Thank you.